Lockdown Sports.
I am currently involved in an effort to blow the lid off an elaborate hoax known as Gonzaga. Gonzaga, if you don't know, is a made-up university. I've seen no proof that it exists.
Yeah, and the basketball players, they're not human. They're lizard people being controlled by the Illuminati.
I'm going to tell you something. If I'm the Zags, I'm a little worried. Over Southern Cal, I wouldn't count on that. Southern Cal has been impressive.
Thank you.
Rod, I don't know about you, but those Gonzaga Bulldogs are taking out the trash and knocking over every trash can they can find on their way to claiming the first national championship for this school. Boy, don't they look good.
I must admit, Jeff Young, your pick is looking very good right now. And as you know, here on Lockdown Sports, we are undefeated, untested, and untied in our picks because we have yet to pick a winning team in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's Seahawks football, it doesn't matter what it is, Jeff Young. We have been wrong on down, consistently wrong. And what I'm hoping is why I won't curse your pick from the beginning of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. But yeah, they took, and Jeff Young, didn't they take out a trash barrel full of Trojans last night?
Oh,
they got that dead, man.
Well, and, you know, congratulations to the Trojans and the Pac-12, who's got UCLA in the Final Four and have got Stanford and Arizona for the women in the Final Four.
Women, yeah.
And with Gonzaga in there, West Coast basketball rules, and second to West Coast is Texas. You know what they said? This is the first Final Four in like forever that there isn't a single team east of the Mississippi. Good for them.
That's terrible. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So for all our East Coast people out there, all your biased East Coast sports writers out there, take a nap.
Take a nap.
Bye, bitch.
And we're watching absolute perfection. Watching Gonzaga play, boy, they just move seamlessly and relentlessly, and they move as one, and they're getting ready to become like only the second team to go completely undefeated. The first one was back in 1975-76 season, Bobby Knight and the Quinn Buckner-led Indiana Hoosiers.
That's right.
And nobody's come close since then. So this is an incredible accomplishment led by the incredible coach, Mark. Few mistakes, if ever.
Yeah, Mark doesn't make but a few mistakes, does he?
He sure does.
They've got 2 games to go, and I see them as so focused right now. And SC was supposed to be a real test for them, Jeff Young. SC was no problem. God, and what amazed me was how they ratcheted up the defense from the opening tip and absolutely clamped down on any ideas that SC might have had to get anything going offensively.
Oh, it's incredible. Their offense is Gonzaga is number 1 in the nation, but they are 7th in defense. Very underrated, and they shut down the Trojans, who a lot of pundits say, based on the way USC was playing, and they were playing lights out, and they're big and physical, and Gonzaga just like, we could care less. Yeah. We're going to destroy you like we're going to destroy everybody in our way. As good as Baylor is, I'm sorry, from what I've seen, nobody's beaten Gonzaga. Nobody.
Stay tuned, Jeff Young. It's going to be very, very interesting.
It is going to be interesting. And joining the party is Texas with Houston and Baylor. And that's going to be a hell of a game. Houston, I don't understand how that team can get so many offensive rebounds. But every game I've watched them, it's like shot after shot, they're grabbing the rebound. Unbelievable.
Well, and as we both know, you've got to grab a rebound. And if you don't grab a rebound and the other team gets more than one shot at the basket, you're the Oregon State Beavers.
And props to the Beavs, man. Got into the Sweet 16.
Props to the Beavers, man.
Yeah.
Man, props to the state of Oregon. Both the Ducks and the Beavers represented, man.
Represented big time.
Big time, Jeff Young. And by the way, a moment of silence for the Husky basketball program. Let us pray. Are you kidding me?
What, 5?
There's been 5 guys that have transferred out of there, Jeff Young.
Come on, man.
It's frightening, man. Hopkins needs to call Mark Few in for a little conference call and say, how do I get the best players? Because you probably already know this, but I think Gonzaga's already got 2 of the top players in the country. 5-star recruits have already committed. So that team's not going away anywhere.
Yeah, Hoppy should get on the phone with Mark Few and say, listen, how can I get the second best talent in the state?
Isn't that true?
Okay, how can I get the guys that you're not going to play in your rotation? Because that'll at least help us to win some games and be respectable. No, that was disgraceful what happened with the Husky basketball team.
It is, and hopefully
That
they can
was
get it
disgraceful.
together. But we're well represented in the Pacific Northwest by Gonzaga, and the women's Final Four has been set with, like I mentioned, 2 Pac-12 teams in there, Arizona, Stanford, along with UConn and South Carolina. And I thought this was kind of historic and neat that this Final Four for the women will, for the first time ever, feature 2 black head coaches taking their teams to the final 2 games. And I think that's a great accomplishment.
It's historically beautiful, Jeff Young. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, time to keep making these positive changes. And the NCAA has got a lot of changes they need to make.
Oh, I think that let's start with the weight room and the food for the women, and we can go on down the checklist. Not to mention, of course, them laundering their own uniform, Jeff Young.
That's true. So, hey, what's the Hawks have making some more news, and thankfully it has nothing to do with Russell Wilson. What do you hear? Who are we signing?
Well, we got Tyler Lockett locked up for the next 4 years.
Fantastic.
Okay? And it's a big money deal. And Jeff Young, where did they get the money to pay Tyler Lockett? I don't know. I don't care. We got Tyler locked up in the fold. And Russell Wilson,
$9 million.
Yeah,
He's worth it.
Oh, he's worth every penny. And Russell Wilson was very happy and very positive in his response.
Yeah.
You know, he and Sierra have been making the rounds on the Stanford games. They kept doing cutaway shots of he and Sierra cheering the Stanford women on because Russell Wilson's sister plays for Stanford women's basketball team.
Yeah, that's very neat.
So,
and a lot of fun.
So kind of neat to see all that. But Jeff Young, the stories still continue about Russell Wilson not being a Seahawk in 2021. In other words, with all the weapons that we've added on the offensive line, you know, brought this brother in from the Raiders, and he's a big guy who's going to do the job.
They just signed him for 3 years, 22
Yeah.
mil. So he's here for a while.
Jeff Young,
Fantastic.
I tell you what, if this continues, my suggestion is that we trade Sierra back to Future.
Come on, man.
All right, that's all I'm saying. I'm tired of all this, man.
I know.
I'm tired of this.
I just
I'm tired of it, Jeff.
let the games begin, and the NFL expects full seasons this upcoming year. So
Added another game, and we got to go to Pittsburgh for that late season, 10 o'clock in the morning.
but it's going to be good to get back to a normal season with fans in the stands and put all this nonsense about Russell Wilson behind us. It's going to be a quarterback frenzy in the draft. And the Niners cashed in all their chips. Moved up to the 3rd pick. And so they're going to grab a quarterback while at the same time telling Jimmy Garoppolo, you got nothing to worry about, son. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You are man. Yeah, Jeff Young, you are our man. By the way, who is that cleaning out my locker? I don't know.
You don't know. Hey, let's get this thing all wrapped around what I want to call the non-call of the year, sticking with March Madness. Boy, I'll tell you, you look at how dominant Gonzaga's been on the women's side. Has there ever been a team as dominant as UConn for the women?
This goes way, way back to Rebecca Lobo, man.
Oh,
okay.
They're amazing. And
their tradition is unbelievable.
It is. And maybe that tradition and reputation helped them get into the Final Four this year. And the reason I say that is, man, it was coming down between them and Baylor. I don't know if anybody saw that game, but Baylor walks down the court with the chance to win the game down by 1. And their star, DeJounte Carrington, grabs the ball, goes up to make that game-winning shot. Boy, man, did she get hacked.
She got hacked, Jeff Young.
Across the face, across the arm. And guess what? No call. No foul.
No foul.
Unbelievable. When you see some of the other foul calls, for the men's games and stuff, I'm going, how do they not call this? And of course, Baylor's coach, she was so pissed. Look at this. She couldn't even keep her face mask on.
See when DeJounte drove the ball from where you were standing.
What did you see?
That's an elevated level of festivity, Jeff Young. When you're fighting with your mask to try to make your points.
Oh,
and the mask won't even cooperate.
She looks scary. If I was the refs, I would have run off that court as soon as that game. But and I will have to hand it to Carrington, man. She was gracious and wouldn't blame that call on the loss, but I will tell you that foul call was so shocking that it even had the ref passing out. When's it gonna end, man?